Hi, this is Barry Schwartz from the Search Buzz Video Recap. This is the news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable over the past week. Today is Friday, October 15th, and we have a lot to discuss today. The first thing I wanted to discuss was the big Bing news. Bing and Facebook have teamed up. Bing is now able to capture pretty much usage on Facebook and use that to implement what is called a liked by your friends on Facebook module on the Bing results. This was huge news. It came out, I believe, on Wednesday afternoon. We have a post about it on October 14th at SEOroundtable.com. Let me explain a little bit how this works. Basically, what you have is you do a search on Bing. If you're logged into Facebook, automatically Bing will go ahead and add this module to your search results. And what that means is a module is basically like a one-box type of thing that goes in the search results, and it shows you if there's anything related to what your friends like. They'll say your friends liked related content for your query, and this is what those related content is. So if you're doing a search for a steakhouse in New York, and one of your friends liked a steakhouse in New York, you will go ahead and see a result from Bing with Facebook in order to show you the most relevant result based on your friend's search behavior. What's important to explain is that it's not actually impacting the search results. It's basically putting a search module within there. So it's not changing the ranking order of the organic search results. All it's doing is adding another box, like a news result or something like that, in the actual search result. I don't know if they're going to change in the future, but that's pretty much how it works. And it's big news because of what data and access they have to Facebook, and obviously Facebook is used by millions and millions of people. But right now, it's not really changing Bing's search results organically. So that pretty much covers that news. If you want more information, it goes into a lot more detail. We have some more information October 14th with other links to different people out there. The second big news, at least search news this week, was that Marissa Mayer over at Google, who is pretty much one of the most well-known personalities at Google, is supposedly being promoted to the mobile and local location category of the company to lead up that team over there. Currently, or in the past, she was the vice president of search products, which basically meant she controlled all the user interfaces and all the upgrades to user interfaces over at Google.com, Google Search, and anything related to search in general. So the Google Instant was her, the Google Fade-In was her. All those types of Google UI things that you've seen over the years was related to Marissa. She's now moving on. She's not going to be part of that anymore. I know his name by heart usually, but Udi, basically the one who leads up the search team over there, search quality and everything, is taking over Marissa's role. His title's not changing. He still will be on the, I guess, more of the engineering side. And Marissa's going to move to location. There are some rumors that Marissa was demoted, meaning that is demotion for all of what's going on with Bing and she can't compete, stuff like that. But I'm not really sure if that's true or not. Finally, she's also joining supposedly the Elite Club at Google, which is a very exclusive group at Google, which is in charge of operations. That's more information about that on October 13th at SEOroundtable.com. Let's go more into the SEO side of things. Google Webmaster Tools has updated. They now have new link reports. These new link reports basically provide an overview of who links to you the most, which like websites externally link to you the most. What is your most linked to content? What are obviously the most popular pages in terms of the quantity of links? And what's your most popular anchor text and how people are actually linking to you? You could drill down deeper and deeper into these pages to see by URL who links to that URL the most. You can see your most linked to content and who's linking to that content. And you actually see the most popular anchor text as well as who's linking by that anchor text. So it's pretty much broken out in more detail. You can actually see a lot more information. And Google has provided lots of screenshots. So basically we have a post about this on October 14th. And you can log into Google Webmaster Tools right now and check it out yourself by clicking under the reports for link reports. The next topic is also Google Webmaster Tools related. Google Webmaster Tools has improved a new feature, their parameter handling. Basically allows you to now better control your faceted search navigation. So basically, if you have lots of dynamic URLs, you can go beyond what you used to be able to do, and you'll be able to do a lot more features. For example, now you have the ability to choose a specific value among the known values for a given URL. So this is important when you're using a parameter is relevant to the content, but different values of this parameter lead to similar pages. For example, if you have sorting control, sorting by price, color, different things, and page, sorting by page numbers. So if you have paginated sorting, that's very, very important. And you can use these types of things in order to actually tell Google what pages might be duplicate or not, and help you with your, really your faceted navigation control, which is a major issue for large e-commerce, large content-driven sites. We have more information about this on October 11th, and you give it a try yourself directly in Google Webmaster Tools. Somebody tweeted and asking me if I could talk a little bit about the Bing integration and with Facebook in terms of privacy. Bing says you can actually turn it off at any time. It's unclear exactly if this is a paid relationship. I believe it is. So Microsoft is paying Facebook for this data. The question is, what type of data is being sent, and is turning off that feature meaning that Microsoft's not collecting that data? It's unclear. There's a whole privacy section on the thing. I haven't read it in full, so you can take a look at that, but I'm sure over time we'll get more clarity about how that works. All right, next topic is the next topic is also Google related. Google has been testing new AdWords ads at the bottom again. Back in 2008 and 2005, Google has tested this also, basically placing the AdWords ads not just at the top and not just on the right-hand side, but also at the bottom of the actual search results. I have a picture from 2005 showing it, but it basically is not what people are seeing today. I'm not exactly sure what people are seeing today. I can't have a screenshot, but the people at Webmaster World are saying that you're seeing the ads that are typically at the top and the right-hand side also on the bottom. As you know, with Google Instant, the search box has been removed from the bottom, and obviously there's more space there to throw ads. So I'm not sure if it's going to stick or not, but Google's constantly testing stuff. Also, Google's testing, we discussed last week about the magnifying glass, and now they're also testing that same type of interface without the magnifying glass. Just when you mouse over a search result, it highlights it in blue. Let me bring up my screen for you people to see. See if you can see that. Basically, right over here, you see the mouse over with the blue interface when you mouse over the actual results. So that's basically what Google seems to be testing, and we'll see how that goes. Next topic, Yahoo. I have a few topics on Yahoo. Basically, Yahoo is rumored to be looking to sell. Personally, they were looking to sell back. Personally, I'm all for it this time. So a few years ago probably, when Jerry Yang was in charge, the CEO of Yahoo, after he took over the company, Microsoft made several bids and attempts to acquire them fully. Every single time, Yang pretty much turned it down. Then Carol Bartz came in, made a deal with Microsoft, basically pretty much giving them their whole entire search index and technology in exchange for not having to manage that and them powering everything. Basically, now Carol Bartz supposedly is rumored to be looking to sell. Obviously, it's not going to be for the same amount of money. It'll probably be for a lot less. But this time, I'm all for it. They're not really a search player, so why not? To make matters worse, yesterday afternoon, Yahoo was down for about an hour. Yahoo.com. Wasn't all of Yahoo properties, wasn't Mail, wasn't the other properties, but Yahoo was down for about an hour or so, and that was pretty serious. I don't think I've ever seen a Yahoo downtime like that before. Finally, Yahoo's closing their UK directory. They've closed some European directories earlier this year, the ones in France, Germany, Italy, and Spain. But they're also closing on November 8th their UK directory. Just another sign. Yahoo started as a human-based search engine, which is basically a web directory, and they're closing one by one. They say the US directory is safe, but for how much longer? That's the main question. Google announced earnings last night, around 4:15 or so last night. The earnings were obviously up, as you can imagine. Some key highlights for you. Their revenue was up 23% from last year ago, Q3 2009. Their operating income was $2.5 billion, up from $2.07 billion from last year. Their net income was $2.17, up from $1.6 billion. Their site revenues, Google-owned sites, was about 67% of total revenues. Their network revenues, such as AdSense, was about 30% of their total revenues. So there's a gap of a few percentage points for the rest. Paid clicks was up 16%. Cost per click was actually up 3%. They have about $33 billion of cash sitting in their bank, and their headcount, meaning employees over there, is up from 23. They have 23,300 or so employees, up from 21,800 employees back a year ago. Actually, less than a year ago, last month. So that pretty much covers the Google News. Obviously, let me see what their stock's doing. Well, it's too early for that, so I don't know. But we'll see what happens. Supposedly, it beat expectations. All right, 2 more things to cover, and then we're done. Google Maps in Australia. If you go Google Maps in Antarctica. If you do street views in certain places in Antarctica, you can actually see penguins, and they have a little street view penguin. They call it a pegmin. Not a penguin, but a pegwin. P-E-G, not P-E-N-G. It's pretty cute. Let me show you a picture quickly. There's the penguins. And you can see them on the Google Maps itself. It's pretty cute. Finally, SES to Chicago is this Tuesday. I'll be there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, covering it. If you need and you missed the live blog coverage and you're not going to be able to go to the show, we have several live bloggers. We'll be covering several sessions a day. Avi Walensky, Shira Goldenthal, Chris Boggs, and myself will all be live blogging the event starting Tuesday, Chicago time. So tune in. That pretty much recaps the Search Buzz Video Recap. My name again is Barry Schwartz. This is the news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable. Today is Friday, October 15th. Thanks so much for listening and participating in the live chat for those who are watching live. And thank you so much. Everyone have a great weekend.